everyone, and welcome to the very first ever YouTube exclusive news episode of the podcast Wrestling Society. I am your loving leader, benevolent host, and Midwest monster, Troy Adams. And joining me today, he is the Jacques to my Raymond Rougeau. He is Greg. What is going on, Greg?
What is up? I'm French and Canadian now. Cool.
You know, things can all...
I already like hockey, so...
Which is really weird because you live in California, and I wouldn't, peg those, NorCal people as diehard hockey fans. But then again, I've never been out to NorCal, so what do I know? You guys have the Sharks, so they're typically good. But yeah, so...
cup.
What was that?
I want the cup.
No, I'm sure you do. Yeah, well... We can't always get what we want, okay? I'm a Blue Jackets fan. I know this. But then again...
Hey, if all goes according to plan, we're going to be going to the Sharks-Blue Jackets game in Columbus.
Oh, it's going to be the Sharks there? That's why you want to go.
You.
Oh, okay. I only remembered you saying it was a Blue Jackets game. I didn't remember the part about the Sharks.
That weekend they're in Columbus. I said, that's why I want to go.
Oh, well, so you and I will be rooting for different teams. Nice. All right. Well, either way, it should still be fun, but at least it's not the Pittsburgh Penguins, because then my team might actually beat yours, and yeah. So it's just for those of you that don't know, in Northeast Ohio, we actually like the Pittsburgh Penguins at times. So because there were no Blue Jackets, but anyway, we're getting out. We always get into like a sports tangent at the beginning of the show. And we run away with it. I don't know why we do that, but it happened.
Well, yeah.
And both of us
Let's get back to the real sport, pro wrestling.
Yeah, the sport of kings, professional wrestling. The reason, by the way, that we are doing this on YouTube was because we recorded the news and the podcast with the actual subject of the podcast, which is Vince Russo and WCW Part 5. We recorded it all together and then realized this was damn near 2 hours long. That's a long haul for to listen to two people ramble on who aren't even famous, aren't in the business, nothing like that. So it's not like you're listening to, Jericho or Pritchard or...
I'm not in it yet, but I have a standing offer. But
yeah, you can be the manager for Jimmy Soup Pants.
HC Dub.
you can carry his soup to the ring with him. You're like Paul Bearer's urn.
Oh, man.
Oh, Dave, you better get the vocal cords ready now. Oh, yes! Oh, this is stupid. But anyway, so we're doing the news separate here. We're cutting it out, doing it different. But, yeah,
but
so...
don't listen to that other podcast that Russo will know. It was a lot of...
I have a feeling that if you're listening to this, you most likely either have or will listen to the podcast about Russo, because those are our most listened to podcasts. So I want to thank all of you out there, our loyal listeners, whether you're from Texas or the state that is round on the edges and high in the middle, or, out, unfortunately, where it's burning. What?
Oh.
Sweden?
So we're big in Sweden, too, so thank them.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say here in the States, out in the state that's unfortunately burning right now, again, California.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Yeah, the death toll keeps going up. A lot of people missing. We mentioned it on the podcast. Our condolences to all those people out there. It sucks. You are more personally tied to it than I am because you actually live out there. So it's bad.
Yeah, it's been rough, man. It's tough to see.
It's been a bad week for California as a whole. So, yeah.
Oh, God help us.
Yeah, well, I think God abandoned you a while ago, but that's beside the point. At least you got Satan, as Raiders fans, so that's something.
Well, I believe he lives in the Coliseum.
I wouldn't doubt that at all, but that's beside the point. But he doesn't...
Soon to be Vegas.
I was going to say he takes a vacation on days that the Athletics are playing, but that's beside the point.
That's true.
Let's move on now quickly. All right, let's now that we're through all of that, let's dive right into the news. Here, let's start with WWE news, shall we? Our first time in a couple weeks covering all things from Vince's nut house. This first story here is one that I think you and I are in agreement that this is a really good thing. The USA Network says that they were putting an end to WWE Raw overrunning their 3 hours. It's bad enough that they were like, we're going 3 hours. Oh, by the way, we're going to overrun by like 10 to 15 minutes, give or take.
Oh, man.
If you can't squeeze the whole show into 3 hours, something's wrong.
What's means they have to cut down the replays? Oh, no.
Yeah, oh no, we can't hear Roman Reigns saying I have leukemia 500 times.
Yeah, they really hammered that home.
Yeah. And then, I'm going to relinquish one thing that I said. I talked about it last week on the podcast a little bit, where I said, a lot of people thought it was distasteful, but I thought when Dean turned on Seth that night, I was like, well, that's the perfect time, because that'll get him more heat and whatever. They're not booing him. They still don't give a damn. So now I guess it just turns distasteful at this point, because it didn't work the way they wanted it to. I don't know. Triple H underwent surgery to repair his torn pec. There's no timeline on his return, by the way. I know you and I are both hoping he'll be back before Mania.
Yeah, I'll be heartbroken.
He said surgery went well, but it is a torn pec, and those pictures looked gross of like all that purple skin. Ugh. Look, the bump looks cool that he does in the corner, that Harley Race bump, but after Harley Race severely hurt himself doing that bump, maybe Triple H should not.
Maybe.
Yeah, just maybe. Oh, man. Here's one. It's just more content for the network. More content.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. WWE reportedly buys the tape library for World Wrestling Council. For those of you that don't know what WWC is, it is the Puerto Rican federation owned by Carlos Colon. And for those of you that know Carlito Caribbean Cool, it's his dad. Storied history of World Wrestling Council. Ric Flair dropped the NWA title over there a couple times, but it was not recognized by the NWA, so hey, man, if you didn't see it in the States, it didn't count, all right? I don't know why I did it. Yeah, I don't know why I did a hick accent for that. Maybe it was because of the America. I don't know.
Roll Tide.
Hell no. We're not going that white with it, all right? Just no.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with being super white. My God, what's happening to this show? We're not even like halfway into it. Roman Reigns just started treatment for his leukemia, and any talk of him returning to WWE is reportedly a long way off. Although we kind of knew that.
Yeah, sad. Say at least a year and a half.
Yeah, sad state of affairs. But I am very confident that he will beat it again, and when he comes back, no matter what all these marks online are saying, the roof is going to blow off that arena when he makes his return.
Oh, I'll still boom, though.
Yeah, no, they won't. And if they do, they're a-holes. And they need to go back to their mom's basement and cry in their meatloaf.
What the hell?
Tell those little 12-year-olds on Fortnite that they're doing it wrong.
That'd be the way to do it.
Yep. I'm getting a lot of hate. I'm getting a letter.
You are.
Just like
send your hate tweets.
Just send your hate tweets. Send your letters, your hate letters written in purple crayon to to me on Twitter. Well, and you can get a T-shirt that voices your displeasure with WWE and all things like, Roman Reigns and such. You can get that over redbubble.com/people/Pod Society. Got it in.
Cheap plug.
First,
easy thumbs up.
First swag plug of the podcast. Many more to come. Shane McMahon's heel turn is part of a long plan on SmackDown. At least that's what Wrestling Observer Live's Brian Alvarez was, quote, basically
Oh, I'm
told.
sold.
Yeah. There's also speculation that the World Cup final angle at Crown Jewel was the start of a face turn for The Miz. I will say this. I listened to part of that Wrestling Observer Live with Brian Alvarez talking about this. And
Of course you did.
yeah, well, I was bored. But he was talking about, because he watches Miz and Mrs. because why wouldn't he? And he was like, he's such a freaking likable guy on that show, and he is a baby face. He's a natural baby face. And yes, he's a great heel on TV, but the thing is, he's a likable guy. He's like, just either make him a jerk on Miz and Mrs. or turn him face on SmackDown. One of the two. Because it's kind of hard to hate the guy if you also watch that other show. And I would
I'm just trying to picture Brian Alvarez sitting in front of his TV right now watching this.
I know. It's weird. It's a weird picture, but apparently it happens. And I will say, who the hell watches that show? But apparently a lot of people watch that show. So
I heard more than Total Bellas.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, out of the 3 reality shows, I think Total Bellas is the lowest rated.
No.
Yeah, I think they get better ratings than Total Divas and all that. So, I mean, that is saying something, I guess. But then again, it's the only one not on E.
What is he really saying, though?
Yeah, but apparently it gets pretty good ratings on the USA Network. So, I don't know. For what it's worth. And what is it worth?
About 8 cents.
Sure, we'll go with that. Last story I have here is not sort of a news story, but I figured, we could talk about this a little bit. Stephanie McMahon, in an interview recently, said that there is, quote, no reason why WWE couldn't be bigger than Disney.
Oh, man.
Look, I know you're a diehard WWE fan, and I've been a fan of WWE since I was for the past 20 years. But what is she smoking? Like,
no freaking clue.
Like Disney has, Disney has their own channel, which WWE kind of does, but it's a streaming network. Which, by the way, Disney's about to have their own streaming thing as well. They both have toys, but Disney has more toys. Like, Disney's brands are far more recognizable. They have 4... how many properties do they own that rake in millions of dollars yearly? Star Wars, Marvel, like, God.
Marvel's enough.
Yeah, and then they have 4, I believe only, quote-unquote only, 4 theme parks across the world. Like... what is she smoking? Like, come on. There's like...
Are we going to dream big?
There's dreaming big, and then there's what the hell are you smoking because I want some?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you got to dream big. Why not?
Oh, man.
She did say it can be. She didn't say it would be.
She has been on a steady diet of crazy... for years, probably her dad sitting there just like force feeding her WWE, sweaty men. And now she's married to a big sweaty man. So, I mean, there you go. Oh, man. Well, that wraps it up for WWE News. Am I forgetting any big stories you can think of?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, well then...
None worthwhile anyways.
Right. Well, let's quickly move on here. News from elsewhere in the wrestling world. Just a couple of them we can run through here real quick. PW Insider notes that they've heard that Impact is looking for a new television partner. Well, I sure as hell would. From what I've heard... What was that?
Where are they at now?
Pop TV.
Oh, yeah.
From what I heard, Spike TV paid them a hefty sum, which we all know, and they paid for some of the talent that, like Sting and Hogan and Bischoff and whatever. And then they went to Destination America, which reportedly paid them like half of what Spike TV was paying them. And then when they got kicked off of Destination America for the email stupidity and just Dixie Carter's incompetence, then they went to Pop TV, which is apparently not paying them a dime. They're on a barter deal. Like, you can't
So you're
make
telling me
this up.
Dixie got them a better deal?
Wait, what?
So you're telling me Dixie actually got them a better deal when she was around?
No, she got them kicked off of 2 better deals, and now they're on a deal where Pop TV doesn't pay them anything for their show, which the other 2 channels did. The only thing they're doing is Pop TV allows them to be on their channel for free as long as they play X amount of commercials for Pop TV stuff. Can't make this up, people. This next story is speculation, but I mean, kind of, I guess. Tetsuya Naito told Tokyo Sports that he received and turned down an offer from WWE back in June. Probably a smart move because Tetsuya Naito isn't known for his English, and that's one thing that WWE really prefers. Look at Hideo Itami and Shinsuke Nakamura. And Asuka. Can't speak English and cut promos, pal. Mid-card. And 205 Live. So, good move,
At least
Naito.
he's a GTS, though.
Didn't they make him change what the go to sleep was? Or is he still...
Not that I know of.
Because the only reason I'm asking is because in the game, there's a GTS version 2 or whatever that's a weird-ass move. And I'm like, is that seriously what he's doing now? Because if so, what the F?
I've clearly not seen then.
Yeah, well, that shows how much you and I watch 205 Live. Last story.
Talking about, man, every Wednesday, man. I watch it religiously.
Yeah. Is it even on Wednesdays?
Actually, I think it's Thursday now.
Oh, God. Wow. Okay, well, again, that shows how much we know about it. Last story here. Joey Ryan says that he will likely require surgery after tearing his pec muscle.
Wow, it's going around.
Right?
I thought it'd be a groin injury.
Well, yeah. Wow. What? No, you can't injure his groin. What are you talking about? It's made of steel. Solid steel.
Wow. Said that.
Yeah. So, I mean, Joey Ryan, Triple H, same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think of both of them when I think of one of them. So yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
When I think of Giant Dong, I think of Joey Ryan and Triple H. There you go.
So you say you think of Giant Dong?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, it's not. Just clarifying what you said. All right, we're good.
All right. All right, quickly running into the UFC news here to wrap it up. All right, well, the big story, big league story for the week. UFC dissolves its flyweight division. Conor McGregor took aim at the One Championship CEO. I'm going to butcher his name here, but Shatri Sityodong, I believe is how you say it.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
He took aim at him over the dismantling of the UFC's 125-pound division and implored him to sign fighters looking for a new promotion. He tweeted, quote, "You must now take all of the 125-pounders that have been let go, Chatri. You talk all of this martial arts and respect talk, yet your greed has directly cost more than half of the fighting division its chance to earn income for their family. Have respect," at whatever his Twitter handle, sign the division. So, okay, explain this to me, because I'm not really up on all this. Why is he blaming the CEO of One Championship?
I think it's because he traded Ben Askren for Mighty Mouse.
Wait a minute.
I think the general consensus is no Mighty Mouse, no division.
Well, then that shows you how weak that division is.
Yep.
That's like, okay, I liken that to, like, on I can't remember. This was years and years ago. But when Ricky Williams played for the Miami Dolphins, and Ricky went down for the season, or that might have been the season where he said he was just going to go smoke weed, and they were like, "Crap, we don't have Ricky Williams. We were going to make it to the Super Bowl with Ricky. Now we're doing nothing. The whole team sucks." And I'm like, if your whole Super Bowl hopes rested on we have Ricky Williams, then your team didn't deserve to go anywhere. That's kind of like
point.
this. Like, if your whole division rests on, crap, if we don't have one guy dissolve the division, screw it. Like,
well, I barely want to watch for him anyway, so.
Yeah, like, but just what the... I don't know. Whatever. It's just dumb. So...
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, those are usually some boring fights anyways.
Yeah, well, we all know who really wants Mighty Mouse, and that's Vince McMahon. For those of you that don't get it, Vince McMahon is oddly obsessed with Mighty Mouse. Not talking the guy.
Sweaty man.
Not talking Demetrius Johnson. I'm talking the cartoon character. UFC is looking to finally sign a long-discussed fight between flyweight champion Henry Cejudo, not for long, and bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw for January's UFC 233 in L.A., which is their first pay-per-view of the year. Yeah, well, screw MMA fighting. Screw MMA fighting.
If everything goes right, I'm going to that, so.
Yeah, well, there you go. You know, I don't know.
It's either that or the Royal Rumble. I'm going to one of the two.
I'd pick Rumble, but that's just me. You saying Anaheim just reminded me of that thing from 2.5 Men where they were going to Disneyland and the kid, can't remember his name, he asked Jake, he asked his grandma, "Are you going to go with us?" And she's like, "Oh, sweetie, Grandma doesn't do Anaheim." I gotta love it. Former Bellator and one welterweight champion Ben Askren has agreed to face former UFC welterweight champion Robbie Lawler at UFC 233 on January 26th.
God, I hope Lawler knocks him out.
Man, they just made this trade. They traded away one of their champions to get this guy, and then he'd take a dump on his first fight. Ah, man, that would just be showing how much of an idiot everybody at UFC is right now. I don't know. They make some questionable business decisions. I'll just say that.
You don't say.
Yeah. New Jersey-based Cage Fury Fighting Championship, CFCC.
HCW, yeah.
Yeah, HCW. Basically the HCW of MMA. Announced that CM Punk will be the color commentator for the company's Friday, December 14th debut show on UFC Fight Pass, along play-by-play man Mike Gill.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, because if, you want the job done right, you get the guy who knows MMA like CM Punk.
Well, he is the best welterweight in history.
Oh, well, yeah. Best in the world! Sorry, I had to do it. I'm sorry, that was Shane McMahon. My bad. Gosh.
That's right.
Yeah, better get that crap right. Last story here. Misha Tate has been named the One Championship Vice President.
So they're just taking every UFC person.
I guess. They're gonna be.
Too bad.
They're gonna be the new Bellator, man.
There's a thought.
So I guess Cage Fury Fighting Championship is like, are they like a farm league for UFC?
Some guys have been plucked out of there, yeah.
Because the reason I ask is because they're going to be on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I could assume. All right, well, that about does it for the news. Can you think of anything else I might have forgotten?
Yeah, just that fight with Johnson and I'm not Johnson, Cejudo and Dillashaw.
Yeah.
Probably won't even be at bantamweight. So it's going to fight in the division they're dissolving. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's Oh, man. I don't know if that's just symbolic of how the UFC is right now, or, I don't know. I think that about wraps it up for the news. I will say, for all of you watching now, definitely subscribe and like the video and tick the little bell to stay notified in the future when all of our content is posted. And guess what week it is, Greg? It is Survivor Series week. That's
I cannot wait.
Oh yeah, you're going to LA for Takeover, Survivor Series, and maybe something else. We're staying tuned for that. But yeah, something that you and I will would personally both love. I'm trying to have something like that close to Cincinnati that I can come to. But that's beside the point. Either way, definitely, we're posting some great content like we did a couple of weeks ago for Halloween week. We're posting some great content for Survivor Series week because it's a big one, brother. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. You'll want to click the little bell and be notified every time we post something. So thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Come on, get us 100 views, by the way, so we can get an actual URL.
Yeah. The more subscriptions we get, there are more subscribers we get, the more we can prove our worth, prove our value, and get a custom URL. It's gonna be great. So I can.
Are you tired of that tiny URL little thing?
Yeah.
You can change it.
Yep, you can. It's up to all of you, and spread the word, bro. Spread it like herpes on the Jersey Shore, bro.
Holy crap!
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It ties in with wrestling because Snooki was at WrestleMania, so it's fine.
Oh my God. And JWoww was in TNA once.
That's right. They all ripped off Robbie E's gimmick, but whatever. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, I see JWoww and Snooki aren't on the list, bro. But speaking of the list, bro, that is coming later on this week. That is more content coming to you on YouTube. It'll be a good one. It is the top 10 storylines with no or unsatisfying conclusions. Go be good. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Of course.
And we will holler at you all later. Peace out.
Later.
Thanks for watching this YouTube exclusive video for the podcast Wrestling Society. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're picking up what we're throwing down. And of course, we always welcome feedback in the comments section down below. And if you want to keep up with the weekly podcast that drops every Wednesday, links to the show page are in the description down below, along with our social media handles and our associates pages. Come on and join the society.